Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more My Next Life as Villainess, continuing Rosie's route. Oh, my beautiful Rosie, and my side piece Silva. Me and my husband and our boyfriend. Oh, happiest little man harem trio. Anyway, so we were... don't have my guide on the right spot. Anyway, we were just transitioning into Jordo's head because we just basically agreed to pretend to be in love with Rosie. Great, okay, pretend, sure, whatever, okay. Katarina's gonna think she's pretending, but the fangirl in me is like, finally! Now he can really fall in love. God damn this bastard. Anyway, he got me. Seeing Katarina nod so happily makes me want to grind my teeth. Thinking rationally, nothing about this plan is a compromise. It's just swapping the King of Quid for Rosian. There may be fewer things to worry over, but the danger is still very real. How could I fall for this? It's a basic negotiation tactic to ask for something excessive first, and then pare it down to give the appearance of conciliation. This plan must have been the King of Quid's real plan all along. I see that now, but I failed to maintain my composure. I already accepted the other side's demands by the time I realized. It seems that I lose my composure whenever it comes to matters involving Katarina. However, he is a sly one, creating a situation that made it difficult to refuse in order to get Katarina to agree. Since she agreed, if I refuted it further, I would appear overly cruel to her eyes. Mortified, I think I'd be entrapped in such a cunning fashion. In an attempt to retain my pride, I feigned composure, halting King Quid as he's about to leave the room. Oh, Prince Jordo, I'm sorry about earlier. Although I only did what I had to for my loyal supporters, I know what I did to you was unfair. He sees right through me. That irritates me even more, so I grit my teeth and smile back. Yeah, I'm sure you're gritting your teeth and your smile looks more like a grimace right now, Jordo, Jesus. Oh, no, there's nothing for you to worry over. I'm glad to hear it, and then I'll be counting on your continued support. Ah, youth. It says the 25-year-old! Okay, sweetie. Oh. That statement is obviously directed at me. I can feel the anger bubbling over, although to be fair, Jordo's what, like 16, 17, so... I thought I was rather skilled at these subtle negotiations, but perhaps this is the difference of age. No, rather it is experience. I'm standing before a king who sat upon a throne for 8 years, the entire time fending off an opposing faction. His skill at negotiation is no happenstance. For the sake of my remaining pride, I hold back my emotions. As I muster my efforts, Rosie approaches me and bows deeply. I'm terribly sorry, Prince Jordo. I'll do all in my power to resolve the matter as soon as possible. Or Rosie's feeling guilty, even though he's like, God damn it, I'm in love with your fiancé so hard. Rosian's apology rings genuine. His earnest desire to protect his homeland, Quid, and his guilt toward Katarina and me shows on his countenance. I cannot bring myself to be harsh with him. I just make sure that Katarina will never be exposed to any sort of danger. Well, that'll be a given. I put my faith in those words of yours. And so, the next day, Rosie and I are spending time together as per yesterday's plan, but is there really any point to this? Rosie and I are relaxing with some afternoon tea. The muffins are fluffy and the scones are crisp. They're all so delicious. Here's the thing, we're spending time indoors. How's anyone going to see that we're spending time together? You know what I mean? We need to be out spending time together. I'm supposed to pretend to be his lover, but I'm really not doing anything. Katarina, what's wrong? It's just that I thought we'd be going out to show people, but all we're doing is sitting here inside the estate. She's like me, she's like, shouldn't we be going out holding hands and shit? That's alright. His Majesty has allowed some rats in on purpose, so the information can be leaked out. Huh? Rats? It sounds like something out of a spy movie. I can't stop myself from glancing around. guess I should stop asking for details. I should focus on trying to be lovers, but what does that even mean, really? Well, I guess we're just gonna have to make out with him and find out. Kiss him. Oh my god, don't you wink at me! Here's me reading, not realizing, and then glancing up. How long have you been winking at me, you bastard? Stop it! Why does he do this to me? Why is he trying to kill me? Oh, dear God. Makes me want to cry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to worry you. We've checked their backgrounds thoroughly, so there's no danger. Stop winking at me with that little blush on your cheeks. God damn you. Maybe I could put my knowledge of Otome games to use here. I'll protect you no matter what. Katarina, are you listening? Usually a tea party event. I know! Here, Rozzy, say ah! I take a cookie from the plate and hold it out. Rozzy is still as a statue. Now he's super blushing. Huh? Well, this is a classic lover's activity. I'm sure there was an event CG like this in Fortune Lover. I hope there's an event CG like this right now. With him looking at us awkwardly, like, when you're trying to feed me a cookie, what's happening? Like, I need this. I move the cookie closer to his mouth, and Rozzy's face twists in confusion before timidly taking a bite. Was that right? Yes, perfect! Did you see that, you spy? We're the perfect pretend couple over here. It's okay. And not when you're like, this is what lovers do, right? They feed each other so that people will think we're dating. You don't say that part out loud. I grin, thinking that this should create quite the buzz. Again, rats, not literal. Nobody's in the room with you. Uh-oh. I shouldn't let anyone see my villainous smile. I better act normal. I thought I might have worried you, but Katarina, you certainly are amazing. Then, can I do it too? Why, of course! I open my mouth wide in anticipation. Rozzy freezes a moment before bursting into laughter. Huh? Why are you laughing? Thank you, Katarina. I'm so glad it's with you. Glad? About what? Rozzy wipes a tear from the side of his eye while lifting a cookie with his other hand to feed me. Delicious! Yes, he is. Oh, the cookie too, I'm sure. Maybe it's quiddy and baking style, but it's not as sweet as cookies and sorcier. Instead, some spices accent the flavor. Could just be a different type of like a flavor cookie, you know what I mean? You're like, it's not like chocolate chip cookies. It tastes more like they'd be peanut butter cookies. Well, maybe they're peanut butter cookies, you know what I mean? All those spices in cookies. Like, what kind of cookies? Well, I mean, like, cinnamon is technically a spice. You know. Rozzy's expression softens, and he holds out another cookie. We continue to enjoy the tea time while pretending to be lovers. Now you gotta canoodle, get close, and, like, rub noses. Oh my god, you're so precious. No, you're so precious. And you gotta be, like, sickeningly adorable, and then kiss a little. Just... Yeah? Yeah, right? Exactly. I can't believe we didn't get a CG. Game's kind of a douche. It's like, I'm sure there was an event CG like this in the Fortune Lover game, but fuck you guys, you don't get one. That's rude. Really rude. You know. Sure, we'll get, like, ones that'll make up for it. Okay? But, like, you better make up for it. Game? Rude? But besides this mission, Rozzy has tons of other things to do, so our time to be seen together is fairly limited. And you really got to learn how to hold hands, lock arms, stare at him longingly. I could handle this so easily. Be like, wow, you're really convincing. It's like you're in love with me. I know, right? I'm really good at acting. As I swoon. Eventually, I borrow a section of the yard and start my own little vegetable garden. Now that is good. You know, because she's just like, I just want to start a vegetable garden. But then people are like, oh my god, she's got a garden going. Like, obviously they're in love. It was like, oh, just a temporary house guest. You're like, yeah, sure, just go rip up, plant a garden. You're here for like a week. Get the fuck out of my... What are you doing? But, like, this looks like a permanent thing. You know what I mean? Hard. I don't think that's what she was thinking, but... Wait, why? Well, I feel restless unless I'm doing something. If I let my skills get rusty, I won't be able to farm when I need to most. Look at her. I'm sorry. They didn't even... They're just like, Hera, they were like, let me put her handkerchief or scarf over her head. And it's like so ginormous. All the secrets that are stuffed inside of that thing. So, like, it's like she took a goddamn queen-size blanket, rolled it up, and put it around her head. Like, her hair is not that thick that the scarf would be. Oh, God, it's so ridiculous. What moment could that possibly be? That's the thing. I don't know what's on the fan disc. I remember the fan disc again as I was going to bed yesterday. I remembered, sorry. Fan disc is themed around pirates, so I figure we must have passed all its events. But there's a chance it hasn't ended yet. But I have to consider the worst case scenario. You came all this way to quit and you're still doing this. Look at Alan's little happy face. He's adorable. But it relieves me to see you acting like yourself, Katerina. Oh, I got permission from Duke Lindgren, so you don't have to worry about that. You even consulted the Duke for it. Well, yeah, and if he knows the plan... The Duke's like, oh, yeah, sure! The Duke ain't stupid. Okay, you know he's like, I know my son's in love with you, and I approve of this, so yeah, go ahead, garden. And you want to stay and take care of like... Or the Duke has no idea about the ruse and is really thinking Rosie and Katerina are into each other, and he's like, oh my god, my future daughter-in-law, yeah, go ahead, love her. You know what I mean? Whatever. He may not be in on the plan, but that doesn't mean he's stupid. You know what I mean? Because he's probably like, yeah, I know you two love each other, I'm not an idiot. You know? I just hope that the rumors about a Lady of Sorcier doing farm work here don't spread faster than the rumors of the engagement. Oh, that's true. Imagine if Mother heard about this from the other side of the ocean. I freeze in place, shovel still in hand. Rosie's laughter carries as he walks over, Silva beside him. Oh, you can't put the two of them on screen together. I'm gonna die. Oh, you just can't put Rosie on screen winking at me. Oh, never mind, I'm dead already. I'm dead before Silva showed up. Ugh. I really feel like the game should have ended with Rosie's route. I really do. Because as much as I love Silva, you can't have Rosie showing up looking like this while we're here. Like, I can't. It's gonna be really hard. Okay, I mean, maybe not, because I just need to remember they're a package deal. Whether this game is trying to tell me that or not, they're a package deal. Every other day. This is just some days we're hanging out with Rosie doing the other days we're romancing Silva. So I'm just going to put them together and just pretend intermittently that like couple days we're hanging out with Rosie and then he's off busy doing stuff. So that's when we're spending time with Silva and it's all happening concurrently at the same time. It's not two different timelines. It's the same one. We're just getting all the Rosie pieces, and then later we're going to get all the Silva pieces, and you just have to intermingle them in your minds and let it be a throuple, okay? Just let me have it! Especially if Rosie's going to show up looking like this winking at me. Jesus fucking Christ. Why are you so hot? Anyway. That's alright. I'll be sure to stamp that part out. Wow, he sounds so dependable and beautiful. Look at him. Rosian, please don't spoil sister. It'll go to her head. Sorry, but I want to grant all of Katerina's requests. And they're like, don't. She's gonna fall in love with you. Stop it. And he's like, that's my end goal, so fuck all y'all. Love it. Still, when she started mentioning farming, I thought she might be joking around. Who knew that a noblewoman would be tilling the fields? Yeah, back in Sorcia I have an even bigger field. I was actually pretty nervous my skill would get rusty from being away so long. It really is great that they allowed me to do this. Anyways, let's get tilling! I only borrowed a small plot, so I can't do things I usually do. But this feeling of soil heals my very soul. I put my everything into arranging this small garden. The idea of digging around in dirt, I just, no. I have no green thumb. I have a brown thumb. I kill everything. Surprisingly, I'm sure you've heard me talk about this before. The only plant I have alive I've had for like 20 fucking years. I don't know how it's alive, but it's also one of those like, oh fuck, I haven't watered you in like 2 or 3 weeks. And it's like, I'm a little wilty. And then you put some water in it and it's like, hey, I'm good. And then you just, I'm pretty sure it's plastic. I know it's a real plant, but like a woman I worked with one time gave it to me. And I'm also pretty sure the original plant is still in the original, like, little black soil pot that it came in. She had given it to me for like my birthday gift, and I used to keep it at work at my old job. You could have plants. I don't know if my current job will let me have plants. Not this one, because then everybody that sat around me, because like I work from home now, but because I black out and I'm not allowed to drive. But anyway, so like you have like 4 people. Like seriously, I could reach out and my arms would be like my neighbors are not even that far away from me at arm's length. Like literally, like bend to elbows, you'd be like, hey, hi, hi. Like our desks are small and stupid because collaboration. No, this is just you trying to save money and jam as many of us as possible in a spot. But a lot of people are on conference calls all fucking day, so that's goddamn aggravating and annoying, and I can't concentrate when I hear 62 million people speaking. Or you're trying to be on a call. I also have a problem with like being on the phone. If there's any other noise, I can't focus. So if I'm on a call trying to listen and you know your headset's only like one ear, so and then you're picking up everybody on the rest of the fucking floor talking and you're like, that's all I can hear. I can't hear the people right in my ear. I can hear the people 6 fucking miles away. Meanwhile, you could be talking to me like, what? I can't hear you. But my brain is like, am I supposed to be listening to the people right directly in my ear? No, I want to hear the sound a mile away. That's the one I'm going to pick up. Listen, I don't make the rules on my stupid brain, okay? But like if I had my plan at my desk, every single person in the little 8 block of us that sit together and have our desks facing each other, whatever, would have the plant would be wrapped around a million times because it just grows. It doesn't get thicker, it just gets longer. And I have it in 3 different pots now. One of them gets wiltier faster, so I do water it more often than I used to. But that's because it's in a very, very, very old, like, clay or terracotta pot. I'm not even sure. Super old antique pot that I think absorbs a lot of the liquid. So, like, the soil doesn't stay as damp as long. It kind of leaches out into the pot itself. Again, because I think the pot's from, like, the 60s or 70s. Super old. So, you know, it's not like a normal terracotta pot or a normal, like, my other... Again, it's still in the original plastic that it came in. Like, that's just sitting inside another pot. So, you know, it leaches out faster. So I have to water them more often because that side looks a little wilty. But it gets so long that you like cut the little tendril, you just pop it in water, it starts to sprout, you stuff it in dirt, and there you go. And even when you take it, because it's got the little nubbies on the like stems, you're supposed to stick those in to the soil and then kind of hold them in, and then they're supposed to root, so then your plant gets thicker. It does not. It just gets longer. It never gets thicker. It just gets long. It's just literally okay. I even had it when it started getting big. It started going up over the wall in the office building, and I'm pretty sure people that I worked with all those years ago have pieces of this plant. This plant has, God knows, I know at least 3 or 4 people at work that had a piece. My sisters and my mom have pieces. My sister has one and she used to put it on her bookcase, and it was climbing across the fucking wall over her windows. It was like basically the length of her fucking living room because the motherfucker just keeps growing. That's the only plant it can keep alive because it's near impossible to kill. Near impossible to kill. I might water it every like other week. And that's being generous. I'll look and be like, it's a little wilty, it's fine. And then like, oh shit, that leaf, like, okay. Like, I swear to God, sometimes I don't think, again, it's only because that one pot, the pot drains it a little faster. But like, sometimes it'd be like once a month, maybe. So I can't keep anything alive that requires any kind of care. Like, air plants, dead. Can't even keep an air plant alive. That doesn't even need water, you just spritz it, and then it's somehow overwatered, and then I don't water it, and then it's dying, and then you spritz it, and then it's overwatered, and I don't know how this fucking plant survives, I really don't. This plant, cockroaches and Twinkies, will be the only thing left in a fucking nuclear apocalypse, okay? I mean, so I definitely don't have a green thumb, and I also don't like playing with dirt. So, like, gross. Anyway. I don't know why I try. I can't even keep a cactus fucking alive. Like, anyway, it's a long tangent on, like, I don't like gardening. Also, just the idea of being out there in the summer, it's hot. Hot and dirty. Those are things I don't want to be. I'm very prissy, aren't I? Anyway. But the feeling of soil heals my very soul. Oh, it makes my soul curl up in a ball and want to cry. I put my everything into arranging this small garden. That's how I started my own little farm on the Lindgren estate. When you become Duchess of Lindgren, it'll be beautiful. And there we go. Heave-ho! Today I helped out with the odd jobs again while doing farm work during my downtime to relax. Doing farm work to relax. Yeah, again, not what I want to do. Phew, that should do it. After working up a good sweat, I look out over my freshly tilled garden. Get the feeling I'm forgetting something important, though. Katarina, you're working hard today again. She might have forgotten you, Rosie, but I will never. Rosie, did you finish work already? Not yet. I'm only here for a break. I was wondering what you were up to. Rosie smiles gently at me, reminding me of what I was forgetting. How could you forget? Actually, I might try to forget because my heart hurts every time I look at you and I feel like I can't breathe. That's right. I have to pretend to be Rosie's lover. Oh, I don't ever want to pretend. Yeah, sure. It's okay. It's okay if it's pretend. I will pretend for as many decades as we need to pretend for, Rosie. I was so preoccupied with assisting everyone and preparing my garden patch that I nearly forgot about that. But it's a bit awkward to bring it up. How about you, Rosie? Have things been well? It's too hard to open the conversation with pretending to be lovers, so I start with some chit-chat instead. Rosie nods and smiles. Oh yeah, smoking out the Premier supporters is going better than expected. Huh? Really? Oh yeah, that's why you can continue on as you have been. Everything's moving in a good direction. Huh? Really? As it is, it'll be difficult for them to figure out what we're up to, so all you need to do is just sit back, relax, and complete our mission. Our mission? He's referring to our plan to pretend to be lovers. And look, he's blushing because he's like, you just complete our mission. I'm gonna giggle too. When he blushes like that, I can't help but feel embarrassed too. I'm literally. I feel like a little schoolgirl. Oh, God, I can't handle him. Feeling a little awkward, I go quiet. But I still don't really understand just how to pretend to be lovers. Not to mention I'm doing farm work right now. Not exactly a romantic scene. They pause in silence for a moment, then Rosie speaks. Anyway, are you tired? I'm certain all this farm work must be tough business. I'm fine. My back aches a little because I've gotten out of the groove is all. They're back. Oh, that's terrible. I'll summon the doctor at once. Wait, no, it's not serious. You see, I have to bend down during the farm work, so it always aches a bit. Look at him, he's like, I'll call the doctor, oh my God, you're gonna die. Oh, Jesus. It'll be better in no time, so it's no big deal. Thanks for worrying about me, Rosie. I could use a nice massage. So if you want to call a masseuse. If you say so. I'll bet you're back. I see. He is gonna fucking create some kind of goddamn fucking invention to make it easier for you to farm or something to like massage. He's gonna invent you like some kind of like back massagey thingy. You know it. You know it. You see all the fucking hamster wheels turning in his brain. Rosie puts his hand on his chin as though deep in thought. Yeah, told you. Oh, perhaps that shape would work. Or perhaps... I hear someone else's footsteps, and Rosie looks up and gasps. His gaze is directed at the maid who's passing by. I think she's the one that looks after my day-to-day needs. Suddenly, Rosie grabs my hand. Katarina, sorry. Huh? But before I can ask, Rosie pulls me into his arms. Oh my God, give me a CG. Let's for the mission. He whispers in my ear as he pats my hair. The mission? Meaning that we're pretending again. Wait, if he's doing this right now, does that mean that maid might be a rat that Rosie's allowing to roam the estate? No way! I thought she was nice! That's really true. I'm shocked. He should have told her. You know what I mean? He should have been like, we've got some people, so, like, be careful who you're talking around because we hired some people. So, like, the maid that looks after you, make sure you're always, don't talk about Jordo and him being your fiance, like, whatever. You know what I mean? Because, like, what if she's like, yeah, well, it's great, pretending to be Rosie's fiance, and then the maid's right there because rich people don't notice the, fucking schmucks that work for them. You know what I mean? Like, you're always, I mean, he did say we've planted people in the mansion, so you kind of have to always be on unless you're assured that you're alone. But he should have told her the specific people. It really, well, especially the maid lady. I mean, not everybody, but like anytime you're around anybody, always keep an eye out. Don't ever say, because there's people that work in the mansion that we've hired specifically to spread these rumors. So make sure you don't say anything about this being fake at all around anybody, It really reaffirms how serious and tenuous Rosie's current situation is. Even though we're both children of dukes, the Clay's household's filled with kind, caring servants. I feel a little guilty. I'm sure once the threat of the coup is over and the Premier's faction calms down, things will be better, right? I'll do my part to build that better future. I wrap my arms around Rosie's back. Oh, look at his little blushy face. Oh. Rosie tenses up briefly, thinking he might be nervous. I try to pat him on the back as if I'm consoling a child. Rosie, I'm sure everything will be fine. Yeah, thank you, Katerina. Rosie hugs me back. His strong arms push my face into his chest, making it a little hard to breathe. Just the imagining being embraced by him makes it a little hard to breathe, so I'm there with you. The last time he hugged me was when I still felt ill, so I didn't notice it then. He smells kind of nice. Were we falling for him? Finally? Girl, Jesus. I've been screaming in the back of your mind that you're in love with him. Jeez. Huh. This unexpectedly passionate embrace starts to make me feel lightheaded. Him being on screen makes me lightheaded. Feeling restless, I start to fidget in his arms, and Rosie immediately lets go. Sorry, did I suffocate you? But all's well now. Thank you for your cooperation. Oh, right, not at all. I look at the place where the maid was, but she's gone. Seems like the mission is over for now. I think that should about do it, but perhaps one more push. So, Katarina, if you'd like, how about we have lunch together tomorrow? He's like, yeah. Meanwhile, the rumor's been out, it's spread, doesn't even need, he's like, that maid has nothing to do with it. He's like, oh, there's someone around. You're like, I don't care at all. I'm glad. Every time you touch me, I swoon. I need to work on something in my study. About the kitchen can prepare us lunch. I'd be delighted if you'd eat with me. Huh? Oh, right, sure. Wonderful. Well then, I need to be getting back to work. Rosie walks off in a rush. I just stand there in a daze, watching him go. It is cute because it's not even like he's like, oh, we have to pretend to be lovers, but he's like, I secretly actually really do love you. But he's not conniving enough to just take advantage of it. Albert absolutely would be. Albert set this whole thing up, so there you go, and he's just like, okay, I gotta go. Oh, a little awkward and shy and adorable. But he absolutely adores us because he's, well, I mean, everybody does, by the way. And now we're gonna hear his thoughts now. Oh, good. As soon as I'm out of sight of Katerina, I slump into a crouch, covering my face. Of course, what another mess that was. I had to act in the spur of the moment as a surveillance target suddenly approached us. I must have looked like such a fool. All I did was blather one-sidedly and run. There was nothing gentlemanly about it. And yet, Katerina hugged me back. But knowing Katerina, she was probably just trying to help out with the plan. Yeah, because she's also a little derpy. There's no other intention behind it. I know that, which is what makes it hurt so much. Oh, I hurt that we're hurting him. Oh, it's okay, Roz. She loves you too, she's just too stupid to realize it. Oh. If it were me, I would just assume you didn't really love me and I would just never tell you and we'd both be hurting like this. Because I don't have the balls to tell you how much I adore you. Everyone else would see it, though, because, like, I've tried Katerina into our mess, and now we're taking advantage of her. Albert's always been such a has always been such a person. I was going to read that such a bad person. Ever since we were children. And that's what it means to be king. But I really do have my complaints about it this time. And knowing that I had my feelings in mind makes it all the more frustrating. Katerina, her innocent smile's much too bright for the gloom of Quidian noble society. I never want to cloud that smile. I must protect her and see her safely home to Sorcier. That's so sweet. He's like, I love her so much, but I won't let her stay here in this dark dungeon that we live in this fucking kingdom. Oh, I want to stay here in your dark dungeon. That sounds really weird, but I want to stay here with you. I don't want to ever go back. I barely have any magic. I fit in here better. Imagining the day she returns to Sorcier, I feel a tightness in my chest. My heart cries out, screaming not to let her go. My heart's crying out, screaming not to let me go either. Snap out of it, Rosian Lindgren. Do not waver in your purpose. Right now I must focus on thwarting the coup, not my feelings. I have to wonder why Al gave this role to me. Much too forced. Logically, I know this is the best course of action. In the end, I cannot protest. I could never hold a candle to that cousin of mine. Covering my face, I sigh again. If only I could spend time with Katerina without all these complications. And if not that, then if I could at least... No. Admit you love me? Here's the thing. It's so funny because here he is. I think the reason why he confessed and like, I love you, and then ran away and like trying to ruin fucking Nichols' route for us, was because he was like, I love you. Okay, bye. It was just, let me get it off my chest. He never expected us to be in love with him or anything. He wasn't like, I'm hoping you'll say that you care too, and maybe, you know what I mean? He was just like, I love you. And we're like, and he's like, okay, bye. And ran because he had no intention of like trying to get us to fall in love with him or wooing us or anything. It was just, I need to confess my feelings. I need to get this out, tell you how I feel, and then peace out. Because like, he could tell us how he feels right here. He has the perfect fucking opportunity. We're at the palm of his hand. But, you know, his mission and the society and everything, this is the real, like, I have her here and I want to keep her here. But the way our fucking noble society is working, it's so dark and depressing. And, like, I can't do that. She's too bright like the sun. She needs to go back home and live a happy life instead of dealing with this fucking, like, bullshit over here. And it's like, you know, you have the perfect opportunity to confess your feelings for me, but you're like, nope, not dragging you into this. So, like, it seems weird that he would confess in Nichols' route, but it wasn't with the intention of trying to get us to love him. It was just, I need to get it off my chest and I'll never see you again. Like, no. He would have just regretted it his whole life. Oh. Anyway, the next day, as we planned yesterday, I'm carrying a lunch set made by the kitchen staff and have arrived at Rosie's study. And then we're going in alone, unattended. Someone's going to be like, she took lunch to him in his study. All the doors are locked and the windows are covered and I can't see them. I bet they're having sex in there. After what happened yesterday, I think things might still feel a bit awkward. I wonder what sort of expression Rosie will make as I peer into the study. Joy. Oh, look at him in his little fucking, oh, his little uniform. Oh, your little engineer overalls. Adorable. I still like you in your fancy green suit. Ugh. Anyway, in one hand he holds a screwdriver. He appears to be working on something. Rosie, I brought lunch. What are you making there? Rosie looks up with a brimming smile. Oh, perfect timing. This is just something I've been working on in my free time. I need to check the height, so have a seat. The height? I puzzle over what he means as I put the basket with our lunch on the table. Rosie takes my hands and sits me down on the four-wheeled box. Did he make a fucking, like, motorized... Oh my god, look at... Like, look at the goddamn... Look at his face. Oh, he's so beautiful. CG. This, I just swoon over his sprites, but this one's a CG this time, but, like... Just like she's like, oh, overjoyed and happy and adorable, and he just, oh, stop looking at me like that, sir. I'm gonna die.
How is it?
What is it?
You said that back home your field's much bigger and then it's tough because you constantly bend over, right? So I tried making this mobile gardening chair.
She really just made a rascal. A mobile chair?
Yeah, if you push on this lever, you go forward. Pull it and you go backward.
Rosie pushes on the lever. The chair clinks and clanks and begins to move. It moved!
It can't go very fast, I'm afraid. But if you open this compartment, you can store tools inside of it.
It's so adorable.
I mentioned carrying fertilizer before, so I thought it might help.
Wow, this is really convenient. Rosie, you really are an incredible inventor making something like this. You know, it's basically a motorized wagon, but I can sit on it, so it's like, it's a cross between a rascal scooter and like a lawnmower, or like a ride-a-mower, except for it doesn't actually mow anything. But like, okay, how does, this is gonna help, like, in a way, like, oh, I can just zoom, instead of walking with bags of fertilizer, I got it, but I could have used a wagon or a wheelbarrow or something. But okay, sure. You know, even a wheelbarrow, like, lifting it up, okay, strenuous on your body, sure, fine. Okay, how does this actually help you gardening? So imagine you're sitting on a little seat, like a little stool. Okay, you still have to bend over on the stool. You know, I mean, I guess it's slightly better on your joints, because if you think about it, like, I'm either going to be kneeling on the ground if you don't have like a knee pad kind of situation, or like a little thing, paddy thing that you put your knees on, like whatever. I don't know gardening, but I'm assuming you would have something like almost like a pillow or something, you know, to like pad your knees if you're crouching down on the ground to like plant. But like, you still, if you're sitting on this thing, you still have to bend over because the ground is on the ground. And you on the chair are above the, how are you, you know what I mean? I know I don't garden, but I'm still like thinking like, unless you're doing pots that are like at table level or something, if you're on the ground, like, okay, I'm sitting in my chair right now. Okay, I'm sitting. Yeah, maybe I don't have to bend down as far, but it's not helping my back anymore, like, at all, because it would be better for like your knees, I guess, because like if you're going to be on the ground and supposed to standing, you're not just bending over or standing straight up, you're going to be crouched down, so like your thighs, your knees, whatever, you know, are going to be what's bothering you. So I'm just trying to figure out how this is really helping your back that much. But like, it's the thought that counts, but I'm still like, how is this helping our back? Certainly making some things easier, you know, and now we have a little seat to sit on, so we don't have to like sit on the ground and then try to get up, our aching muscles after being crouched and kneeling in dirt. But sure, still not sure how it's helping my back. I mean, maybe a little bit, but I'm still bending over, you know what I mean? Anyway, listen, the man did his best and thought of something kind of sweet and adorable, even if it's not really fixing the problem. It's still adorable. That's what I should be focused on. I just want to know the logic behind it is all. Anyway, we already said that you're really an incredible inventor. Yeah, okay.
I'm still a member of the Lindgren family. I'm glad you seem to like it.
The gentle warmth of Rosie's voice, coupled with the heat of his hand on my shoulder, makes my heart feel warm inside. That's true, he does have his hand on her shoulder. I was too busy looking at his beautiful face. Yeah, Rosie is like a dependable big brother. Don't think that. Actually, that's fine, because you know I like to bang my brothers, so. He's always so reassuring. I can't help but relax and smile. I'll be sure to use it as soon as I get back to Sorcier. And after I harvest the vegetables, we can... It's gonna look sad now. Huh. When I get back to Sorcier, Rosie won't be there. Oh, she made herself sad. I thought we were going to see a little sad look in his eyes. But he is, like, willing at this point to let her go. He's like, I have to let her go. But we're like, I don't want you to let me go, though. Because he's from the kingdom of Quid and also the next duke. Even if the coup is stopped, he'd still be too busy to come all the way to Sorcier. I want us to harvest the vegetables planted with this chair together. Your vegetables are probably all dead. Who the fuck is taking care of them while you're gone, FYI? But that can never be. In that moment, my heart stings. I'm gonna stay here. It'll be fine. I feel sad, but there's something else too. What is this?
Katerina.
Oh, it's nothing. Once I harvest them, I'll send you a boatload of vegetables.
Thanks.
Look, oh, now we both look sad. Oh. They'll probably be wilted by the time he gets them. Wish I could eat them fresh with Rosie. Suddenly, silence descends upon us. I try to shake the atmosphere away by standing up from the chair. Let's get eating. The lunch scent they made looks really delicious. I approach the table where I left the basket of food and a piece of paper slips off of it. What's this? Looks like a sketch of some girl. I go to pick it up, but Rosie quickly swoops in and retrieves it first. It's a sketch of us. Oh my god. And he was like, oh, grab it. And you're like, oh, is that a girl you're into? And he's like, maybe.
Don't worry about that.
Look at his little awkward face. It is. He's doodling us. It's so cute. I love it. She's gonna misconstrue it and think it's some other girl, and he's gonna, oh. It looked kind of familiar, but it's no big deal, I guess. No, we have a memory scenario. Okay. Memory scenario. A moment of peace. Okay, we're Rosie, yeah, obviously. We're never Katerina.
Some time had passed since the initiation of the Vinculum's shipbuilding project. I had my identity and joined the ship's engineering crew in order to gather information from the inside. The Premier's intention for the Vinculum were unknown. I decided that the fastest way to find incriminating evidence would be by spying from within. I tried to speak and act more like Silva. Thanks to that, I managed to escape suspicion. Every day was busy. Some things required us to rush, and on many nights I was forced to remain on site. I'd been working as an engineer for several months.
Imagine if we were like, oh, we're Rosie and we talk like this, and then now that we are the Duke, oh, actually, this is how I speak. That would have fucked all of us up, including me. Oh my god.
But on that day, I was finally able to return to the Lindgren household to rest. Phew. I really am most at ease here.
I really am most at ease here. Could you imagine if they gave him a top hat and a monocle? Okay, but like they didn't, so.
My workshop study was the place I was most at peace. I relaxed as I sipped on tea. I noticed a letter was delivered, which made me smile. And that was the reason I made time in my busy schedule to return. I opened the seal and peered inside. My smile grew. This is the best part of coming home. I was tracing my fingers over the words in the letter when I heard a loud, slow sigh from the corner of the room.
Is it supposed to be? I would guess Silva's in the room, but I'm not sure who's saying, you really are a creep. Yeah, okay. So it was Silva being, you really are a creep. I mean, I knew it was going to be Silva, but I didn't know who was saying, like, because that could go either way. Silva could be like, you really are a creep for, like, fondling that letter like that. And Rosie could be like, you're a creep for spying on me like that. You know what I mean? Works both ways. Takes a creep to know a creep, creepers. I love them.
Silva entered the study without me realizing it. Felt almost nostalgic to see him again. Silva, I'm glad to see you're doing well. What do you mean a creep?
That.
I pointed at the letter in my hand with an exasperated look. Well, this is necessary information.
What's necessary? Gathering info about Lady Katerina.
Yes. With a vinculum plan in progress, we needed to gather as much information as we could about Sorcier's nobles. So I secretly started this little hobby.
So he's like an old-timey stalker. You know. Alright. I mean, you need information on the nobles. But I'm just gonna swoon over the information about Katerina. I mean, if the reverse were true when we were like, we're gathering information on Quidian nobles, and then information on Rosie came through with little, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'd swoon too, so okay. I'll accept it. I'll allow it.
The letter summarized recent events of Katarina's life. Even if it's only every so often.
Oh no.
Even if it's only every so often. I don't think it's a good idea taking advantage of your status to gather info about Lady Katarina. Unless it's just part of my job. I have to be well versed in the affairs of Sorcier. Judging by our previous information. Judging by our previous information, Lady Katarina doesn't seem to be among the invited nobles anyway.
I'm not sure. Okay, I really feel like that was Silva then.
Judging by our previous information, Lady Katarina doesn't seem to be among the invited nobles anyway. Yeah, so it would appear. However, her parents will be. Don't you think this is important research? I really don't. You're as uptight as ever, Silva. I haven't used any money belonging to the Lindgren family. This is all coming from my personal wealth. What's wrong with that?
Wow, you've got personal wealth on top of family money? Fuck.
If anything, that's worse.
Although when you say personal wealth, he's like, I'm working as an engineer on the shipbuilding project, and I'm saying my name's Rozzy Lind, and he's getting paid for this, so he's using that money. So, like, I mean, I don't know, like, in ye olde times, being the engineer and helping a ship is wealth, but, you know, I guess what he's saying. Like, I'm using my personal money that I'm earning from being just an engineer building this ship. Hey, just an engineer. Rude! I'm not a ship engineer, but I'm technically an engineer. Actually, I am. I actually am. New info about space. Like, I mean, I know I work with computers and stuff like that, but I am a software engineer. Like, it's not just the degree I have. It's actually what I finally get to do now. Like, for years I was just working. I'm like, I work on Teams and I'm just doing documentation and this sucks. And I'm not using my degree. Like, at all. I have 2 degrees. I have an interior design degree and a software engineering degree. Those totally go hand in hand. That right there is all you ever needed to know about me to go, yeah, what the fuck, all that makes sense, because that's just literally complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Although technically, an interior design degree is not, like, you know how they're like bachelors of science or bachelor of art or whatever. I only have an associate's degree, a 2-year degree in interior design. But it's an associate of science. So technically, like, both of my degrees are science degrees. So, anyway. So I'm not gonna say that, but you know what I mean? I don't consider even that I have personal wealth. I have a personal wealth of a Tomei and anime merchandise. That I wouldn't be selling that for info on Katarina, though. No offense. Anyway, this is the one thing on which I won't bend, Silva. Can't you leave me be? After the busy and nigh inhumane work for the vinculum, these letters were my reprieve. I wouldn't yield, even to Silva. The huge distance between nations meant the letters were irregular at best. That was making me impatient. I love how he mentions, like, the not, like, inhumane working conditions building a ship. And now you see how the rest of us live, rich-ass bastard. Okay? And then he's like, and they get paid almost nothing. And what do you do for a living? I don't know, I was just born rich. We're just rich. How'd you make? Somebody at some point made money and everybody else just is rich. Nobody does anything for it anymore. We just have it. Well, that doesn't seem... You know what I mean? Kind of like, do you guys watch Bridgerton? Like, when, like, the guy who runs the clubs, like, his wife's aunt dies and leaves her estate to, like, their son, because it's the only male heir, because, like, fuck if women are allowed to own property, or anything. What the shit? But, like, they're all like, judging this guy. They're like, you're like noble now. You can't run this bar. You can't do that. You can't work. And he's like, how the fuck do people make? But like, rich people don't make money. They just have it. Like, somebody at some point worked and made money, and now they'd like have I'm sure it's like, well, we have land that we rent out and then people do work and stuff like that and we just make money. But they don't actually really do anything. So like the mentality of like work hard and earn money. No. The people who work are the rich. You're like, no. If you want to have money, you're not supposed to do a damn thing. Like you just like, whoa. You're rich now. You don't work. We don't do manual. No. You can't own a bar. What the fuck? That's crazy talk. So what do you guys? Nothing. We do nothing. We literally do nothing. Put on fancy clothes and go to parties and bitch about everything. So, Rosie's over here like, I have to work for my money. This is weird. Sir, join the ranks of the rest of us on the bottom, okay? Rosie's a sweetheart. He just like upped everybody's wages that works for him now because of this shit. But anyway.
So, how is this Lady Katarina that you're so fixated on?
It's gonna suck for Rosie when Silva knows. I don't know why this thought process, like, wow, Silva knows that Rosie's totally in love with Katarina, and then Silva's just gonna sweep her off her feet and away from Rosie. Wow. Really? Bro. Cold. But at the same time, and I don't know why that, like, oh my god, that hurts my heart a little. But yet, our main group of friends, everybody is in love with Katarina, and everybody knows that everybody else is in love with Katarina, and everybody will backstab each other to get to Katarina. Everyone's like, fine. But at the same time, it's because it's a group effort. You know what I mean? Like, Jordo knows I've got 4 other rivals because Mary. You know what I mean? He may be counting Mary out, but but he's still like, I'm kind of half counter. She's like she's a wild card. She might, you never know. You know what I mean? But he's got 3 other male rivals at least. You know what I mean? So he's like, I got all these rivals. I don't even have a 50-50 shot. Like, And then Rosie's over here like, well, if she ever fell in love, and then your frickin' bestie brother just steals her out from under you. Like, cold, man. Cold. Because they're like on total opposite side. You know what I mean? It's not like they're part of the main group. The main group, everybody vying for my attention, is different. You've got like all hands in the ring. You never know. It's a wild card who's going to win that one. But over here, Rosie's like, she might actually stay for me. That's great. Oh, she stayed for Silva. What the fuck? Silva's like, sorry, bro. Like, again, they come as a pair. And even when we're quote-unquote romancing Silva, those are just the off moments when Rosie's not around and he's busy doing other stuff. So, same timeline. That's what I'm going with. Anyway.
Oh, her life sounds eventful, but she also seems to be loved by everyone. I was exhausted from working so long as a spy. It gave me joy to imagine Katarina living freely with a smile.
But it's also that. It's the same Jordo mentality. As long as she's happy, I'm happy. You are too good for this world.
Honestly, I'm craving more than just letters. From the sound of it, she's just the same as she was back then. Oh, that's unusual. Yeah, I agree with you there. Noble society is full of two-faced liars. It seemed unlikely she was completely unchanged, but I wanted to believe.
Maybe that sketch is like an old sketch he did, and it's not like, and he's just imagining what we look like. That's why it seemed familiar, but we didn't recognize it. We'll see.
I'd always hoped Katarina would somehow stay clear of the trapping of the court. You better not let her find out about this. I know that. I have them take the utmost care. If you say so. Silva shot me another sour look. But it was true I preferred Katarina not to know about all this. I understood, but as this was the main source of my motivation, I hoped I could be allowed at least this much.
It's gonna be weird when we find out, but I'll allow it.
I took out the sketch of Katarina from years ago that I had hidden between books in my study. I looked at it alongside the letter.
See, so it's an old sketch.
I imagined what she'd be like after all this time, and my desire to see her again grew stronger. I sighed deeply. If I could, I'd go see her at once, but the situation had not allowed for that. Maybe I should hire someone who can sketch portraits next. Whoa! I had thought that out loud, and Silva was obviously taken aback. He mumbled something about how I was out of my mind and left the study. Maybe I was. I agreed with his assessment, but I didn't think it was that bad. Yes, portraits are often used in information exchanges among nations, and this is nothing unusual. Arranged international marriages would often be preceded by portraits. The Sorcier was far away, but such a thing wasn't uncommon. Gathering portraits was normalized in order to learn about people from a faraway land. But even if I can't hire a portrait artist, maybe I can ask for a simple sketch. Unfortunately, Katharina was still in school. All I needed to do was find an attending maid or staff member that happened to be handy at drawing and trustworthy.
He's planning this all out. It's so adorable and stalkerish. It's like ye olde times stalking. It's kind of cute. I probably shouldn't find it adorable, but I do. Listen, nothing Rozzy does will ever make me not love him.
For that to go well and I obtained a sketch of Katharina, I thought I could be motivated to do my job as a spy. Alright, setting aside the practical probability, I can get right back to work with this as my goal. Just thinking of her blew my weariness away. My break at the estate ended sooner than expected. I hoped that instead of a mere picture, I might see the lady herself someday.
And then I showed up and you were all shocked. That's so fucking cute. It makes me want to cry. Silva's over there like, whoa, you were like one step away from being creepy. You are creepy. And we're like, shh, Silva, shut up. We love it. In other circumstances, if we weren't into Rozzy, it would be like, whoa, dude, that's a little bit. But like, you know what? Your weird, creepy little obsession, I'm here for it. I love it. Seriously, though, this is why women get a bad rap of like, oh yeah, it's not sexual harassment unless the guy's unattractive. It's like, it's still sexual harassment. Okay, like, listen. And when you just hear the scenario, guy is gonna hire someone to do a sketch of you because he's obsessed with you. Yeah, that alone, like, out of context is kind of weird. Weird. And if we weren't into Rozzy, if I hated Rozzy, okay, let's say Rozzy was Finn from Steam Prison, or Toma from Amnesia Memories, right? Two that I want to light on fire. And he was doing this, I'd be like, what the fuck? Gross. But I love Rozzy, so like, oh, it's adorable, you're a little creepy, but I love it. Like, it really does make a difference how much you actually like the person that's doing the creepy things. This is not a really good argument, but it's also a fantasy Atome game and it's not real, so. In reality, it might be like, you know, I like you, but that is a little bit weird. Taking photos of me. So, like, yeah, what happens in these games sometimes is not anywhere what you'd want in reality. I don't think I really want to find out, well, I paid someone to take pictures of you and send them to me. That is a little fucking weird. Just look, anyway. But anyway, we love Rozzy, so it's cool. It looked kind of familiar, but it's no big deal, I guess. Yeah, it was like her a while ago. I'm sure Rozzy has things he wants to keep to himself. Or it was either somebody sketched that, or Rozzy had sketched it from, like, when we were younger, and he just, like, you know. I also have a handbook of memories from the game, after all. It'd be terrible if the romanceable characters were to see it. I mean, that's true. She's like, Rozzy wants to keep things to himself. He doesn't want, because like, I wouldn't want my Atome game guys to come get isekai'd into the real world and then see all the shit. Yeah, no, valid, as I look around my fucking loft and see all of the anime dudes all over my walls, and how that would be a little weird if some of them were to pop up magically at a games and be like, or poor Rozzy, if he were to pop out and he'd be like, I have no art of you anywhere. Because this was all new to me. But, like, don't get me wrong, I'd have you plastered everywhere if I had. But, you know, all my merch is kind of old at this point. So, running out of room. But yeah, it would be weird. Anyway. For Rozzy's sake, I try my best to forget all about it and begin to take the food out of the basket. Oh, it's so warm! Delicious smells fill the room and my stomach starts to growl. My whole brain shifts gears into eating mode.
was too close. I was reminiscing last night and I forgot to put it away. But I'm glad she didn't get a good look at it. If she knew about this, things would get too awkward.
Aww, you're adorable. It would be a little awkward, to be fair, but... A few days later, we're all summoned by Albert to the Quid Royal Palace. I thought we were going to get another more romancy moment there, but I guess not. Ooh, you know, it's a bluish purple in here. It's got a little hint of... I feel like it's supposed to be purple, but it's a little... I mean, compared to the blue she's wearing, it's purple, but when you just look at it, it's more... I don't know why I'm analyzing the color, but I'm just like, woo, purpley kind of room. It's a little more blue-violet than straight-up royal purple, but I still dig it, because there's not enough purple going on in royalty. So this is Quid's Royal Palace. I didn't come the last time, so this is my first time here. I look around curiously, and Keith, standing next to me, pokes me. Sister, stay still. There's no need for such formalities. If you're Rosian's friends, you're like family. Jordo's like, I hate you. Listen, Jordo. You're lucky you don't have to have Albert as a fucking, like, another rival here. Ah! I didn't forget about this outfit. Don't get me wrong, okay? I didn't forget about it. It lives rent-free in my mind, okay? But I did for a half a second forget we are at the Quid Royal Palace, so of course Rozzy's gonna dress up in his fucking nobleman finery. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, he's gonna be wearing his normal coat, but no, goddamn it. Crisp white pants, those crisp white gloves, those frilly fucking sleeves, that goddamn beautiful emerald green. Oh, that looks so beautiful on you. Oh, you really do have the best fucking outfit in the game. They're all good, don't get me wrong. Suit sexual, okay? But you have I mean, technically Jordo's jacket has tails on it too. But there is something about your cinched-ass little fucking waist with the jacket tightly buttoned up and the flamboyant fucking tails that I know are just billowing behind you. This is why your bitch loves a duster jacket, okay? Because it's like a cape. It's like a jacket with tails. It's got the flamboyant billowiness that is like... Did you ever see the fucking Count of Monte Cristo, like, the movie from a long-ass time ago? There is, like, a point, I think it's... Is it after he gets out of the hot air balloon or something? But he's, like, walking down the steps and his, like, cape or something is just... I vaguely remember just billowing behind him, and it's like, that right there. That's why you just, like... I'm just gonna go running down the stairs, and that's why every girl wants to wear a ball gown and just go running downstairs like a fucking princess. Because you think of how billowy your skirt's trailing behind... That's the same thing with a duster or a jacket with tails or anything like that, or a cape. It just billows behind you majestically, and there's just something about that I love. Anyway.
Your Majesty, what is it you wish to discuss?
We're already over time when we started the scene, but we're just gonna go, because, like, I talked a lot, so whatever. Rosian, Lady Katerina, thanks to you, the rumors are flying. The Premier's supporters are flocking to our banner. Really? Thank goodness. It'd be hard to say I did much for the cause, but if the rumors are spreading, I'm happy to hear it. It's the only time anyone's ever said that. Meanwhile, other hostilities have been resolved, thanks to the private army of the House of Lindgren. All that's left is to smoke out the most zealous followers and eliminate them. The most zealous followers. It sounds like a final boss fight. I wonder how they plan to do it when I notice Albert grin. In the near future, we will invite many nobles to attend a large-scale ball. Uh-oh. Huh? A ball? In response to my confusion, Albert nods. Yes, with the Fairweather supporters joining our side, the Premier's remaining allies are sure to be panicking. Up until now, I've been on high alert, ensuring no one could get into the Lindgren estate or directly contact Lady Katerina. But this ball will be set up to give them the perfect opportunity. What does that mean? Katerina will be bait to attract those despot stragglers. And they should bite, and should they bite, we'll catch them all at once. I cannot be certain they will attack, but I'm sure they will try something. With their limited numbers, they have no other choice. And no matter how careful they are, they cannot stay completely hidden. Ideally, we would find them even before the ball occurs. If only things were that easy. Jordo and Albert sound too similar to me, so I'm like trying hard here, but it's like they sound too much alike. Anyway, indeed. I see. Either way, this is supposed to be the best way to bait out the true supporters of the Premier's cause. Razian, you'll be escorting Lady Katerina that day. That will add more fire to the rumors. Of course you must be absent from the event, Prince Jordo. If you attend, it'll be harder to stamp out the rumors later. Razian will be escorting her in place of Prince Jordo, who's feeling ill. That's what we'll tell them. And with that, it'll be over. That's correct. You may rest assured. Very well then. I've played along this far, but once everything's over, I hope you're prepared to do what you promised. Of course.
Your Majesty, doesn't have to be a ball. That's much too dangerous. If possible.
This is by royal order, Razian. Will not accept any protests. It's already been decided. Now we have another memory scenario. And it went away. I don't think I can hit the button. Alright. Shit. I don't like that, like, you have to click it. You can't even finish reading, because, like, I waited for, like, a half a second, and then it was already gone. We'll go into the thing and pull it up. I'll finish this scene, and then the next part will start in the memory scenario. We'll read it, and then we'll come back. So, hold on. Razzie starts a retort, but Albert shuts him down. I understand the danger, but still, it must be done, Razian Lindgren. The die has been cast. I have high expectations of all of you. Okay. So we'll stop here. And we'll do so that is memory scenario is a long battle. So we'll start there when we come back in the next part. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.